Good morning, everyone. How do we lead as leaders of Gracism when we are in the midst of the current season, and specifically the Derek Chauvin trial, the police officer who had his knee on George Floyd's neck? Now we just learned from the first day of the trial opening yesterday for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. What I want to do is talk to you as a coach, as a consultant, for those of you who are clients, friends, leaders. How do you lead when we're dealing with this? And as a Gracis leader, what is your voice going to be? So consider this a word of consultation and friendship. You know, the scripture says in Proverbs 15:22, plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. So let's be trusted advisors one to another, and take a couple of the words that I'm going to say in the next few minutes to be helpful to you as you think about the next 2 to 4 weeks as this trial is ongoing. Some of you are old enough to remember the Rodney King situation, the situation with O.J. Simpson and that trial and the verdict there. I think we're in one of those moments where we've got to, as religious leaders, spiritual leaders, as company leaders, think through how will this trial and how will this moment affect us. And so let me give you just a few things that I think would be helpful. By the way, I really think that the Church of Jesus Christ needs to be real thoughtful here about how to lead. This is not a time for pensive reflection and slow walking toward racial justice. The church has led when it came to slavery and segregation and Jim Crow and systems of racial horror toward black people in the past. So let's not slow walk this. Let's think through what this could mean for us as a culture today in 2021. So let me tell you about 3 things as a leader that you can do if you want to be a Gracis leader. Number 1, get ahead of your people. Get ahead of your people. Moses was told by God to go ahead of the people. In Exodus 17, when they were complaining, they said, you know, basically, how in the world would you bring us out of Egypt and we have nothing to drink? We're going to die. This is what they said. Why did you bring us up out of Egypt to make us and our children and livestock die of thirst? Exodus 17:3. Verse 4, then Moses cried out to the Lord, what am I to do with these people? They are almost ready to stone me. Listen to God's advice and command to Moses. And this is the point I want to make with you about getting out ahead. The Lord answered Moses, walk on ahead of the people, take with you some of the elders of Israel, and take in your hand the staff with which you struck the Nile, and go. He says, walk ahead, but don't walk alone. That's what leadership is, getting ahead of the people. So with regard to what's going on today, get ahead of your people. Don't wait until the trial comes to an end and then there's a verdict and all of a sudden there may be unrest or whatever the emotions might be of the time. You have a week, 2, maybe 4 weeks to get ahead of it. So my encouragement, my counsel, my consultation to you, my exhortation, get ahead of the people. Take a few people with you, right? Moses, get ahead, take some elders with you. All right, so get ahead, take some advisors with you. It could be your top team, your management team, your trusted advisors to say, how should we think about this? So there you have it. That's the first thing you can do, get ahead of your people. The second thing I want to encourage you to do is to get a word in edgewise. Get a word in edgewise. Your voice matters. Okay, you have a constituency, you have employees, you have a campus of students, you have a business. All right. So what I want you to do is get a word in edgewise. Your voice matters. Your influence matters. I want to take you to a passage in Esther. You'll remember this in Esther chapter 4, verse 14. It says this, for if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance for the Jews will arise from another place. But you and your father's family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this. Esther was in a leadership position. And if she keeps silent, the writer says, then you are going to find out that it will not go well for you. But more than that, deliverance is still going to come. It's just going to come from someone else, from somewhere else. And so, Esther, go ahead and use your voice. It matters. Use your position. It matters. It matters for our people, the Jews, but it also matters for the people with whom God has trusted you to lead, who are not from your same cultural background. So here we have a Jewish leader in a multicultural position to lead people that aren't Jewish. And so what a bridge building position to be in. And many of you are in that same position in your environment. And so she had to get the courage to use her voice to advocate for people who were under oppression. And I want to say to you, this is your opportunity. This is your moment, not only to get ahead with a few people, to really think strategically about how you can serve the people who are grumbling, complaining, or in conflict or in stress. But you also can get a voice in edgewise. And I want you to get your word in edgewise now while you can. Think about what you're going to say. Here's the third and final thing I will give you today that I hope is helpful to you as a leader, and that is this. Get to work and do something. All right? Get to work and do something. Not only get ahead, not only get a word out, but also get to work. Think about what you're going to do, not just what you're going to say. But what are you going to do? You've got the resources, you've got the time, you've got the team. What is it that you can do? Let me give you one passage. You'll remember the men of Issachar, 1 Chronicles 12:32. It says, the men of Issachar who understood the times and knew what Israel should do. Listen, 200 chiefs with all their relatives under their command. In other words, they had all these different tribes. They were known for certain things. This tribe, the men of Issachar, were known to understand the times and to know what to do, and specifically 200 chiefs and relatives who were under their command. In other words, who's under your command? Your company, the CEOs and presidents of the companies that you oversee, your congregants, your campus, your department, your organization. Who's under your command? Think about what you can do with your group, all right, that's going to help with racial healing, racial justice. You speak to the issues, you get ahead of it, but you also think about what to do. Now, when I talk about what to do, remember that when Moses went to God, God told him what to do. When you go to God with the trusted people, God's going to tell you what to do. Because what you're going to do is going to be uniquely fit for your organization. What you're going to say is going to be unique to your voice. When you get ahead and get along with the Lord, along with a couple other people, God's going to meet you there. Because he wants to use the church to bring healing. To bring healing to the horrors of black folk that have suffered for generations in this country. Asian folk who are currently the targets of hate. White folk who are scared of being canceled and being called racist. Listen, don't worry about jokes about being woke or being canceled. What I want you to think about, regardless of color, class, or culture, whether you're a white male or a black female, or an Asian old lady just wondering if you're going to be able to go to the grocery store without being spat on or attacked, is that God has given us a unique voice as Gracists to get ahead, to get a word in edgewise, and to get to work and do something. What do? Do what God tells you to do. But first, cry out to the Lord like Moses did, and he will give you direction. Gracism, this is what leaders do.